Scott, every year it seems like you keep just being the Energizer Bunny. You're feeling like that this pre-season as well?
The Energizer Bunny. I haven't heard that one before, but it's been another enjoyable summer. It's been a condensed pre-season, so we've had to jam as much work as we can in over the past couple of months. But in saying that, the boys are in good shape, and this time of year now, you really look forward to getting into the NAB Challenge, and be a good challenge come Sunday against West Coast. Although there's not much riding on the game, it's just a good challenge to see where we're at the moment.
I guess what I mean is, you sort of times people might have thought that your career was over, but you just keep having lots and lots of possessions. You keep going on. Do you think this might be your last year, or do you want to keep going on and on and on?
People as in you?
No, I've had you in my dream.
There's a lot of eyes on you there.
I've had faith in dreams.
Just in the dream. You wrote off around 5 last year.
Well, yeah. No, well, I mean, there was a lot made about a little niggling hamstring early last year, but that's all behind me, and got through the season well last year. Enjoyed another good summer this pre-season, so I'm feeling good. The team's feeling good, and I'm looking forward to another year.
Is this your best pre-season personally for some time? You had a knee issue and the hamstring. Everyone's saying you're flying on the track.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know where that's come from. I do feel good body-wise, but it's very hard to compare any pre-season. This one, I've done the majority of the pre-season, which has been nice. There's a number of guys that have been in the system for a period of time that they do manage their load from week to week, and I fall into that category. So it's been nice to be managed from time to time, but in saying that, I've done the majority of the training and really enjoyed it so far this summer.
So do you feel that you're in better nick going into a season than you have been for, first time in 3 years?
Yeah, to be honest, it's really hard to get a gauge on that. This time last year was when I stirred up a hammy. So if I was to say from a playing point of view, I'm entering the NAB Challenge, which I missed all of that last year. So entering the start of a footy season, I'm probably in better positioned body-wise. But in saying that, previous years I've felt reasonably good until I've had certain little niggles.
And that management throughout the pre-season, that's just because you know what you need to do to get through. It's not injury-related or anything like that?
No, not at all. You get to a point in your career where you know exactly what work you need to do to be able to front up for another season of footy, and it's, we all know it's a long season, and it's not a sprint, it's certainly a marathon. So you need to manage yourself as best possible to give yourself every chance to get through the season of footy.
Management, you'll be 33 in March, I think.
Yes.
Do you manage yourself through the year, or are you going into a season hoping to play every game?
I go in with the approach that I'd like to be able to play every game, but I have constant talks with the coaching staff, the fitness staff on a week-to-week basis, and they're upfront conversations about how I'm feeling, where the team's at, and what's best for the team and myself as to how we're going to get through the season.
Given that, Scotty, I think you're 18, maybe 19 games away from 300. Does that play on your mind at all, or not really?
No, it's certainly not something you think about too much. It tells me I've been in the system for a little while, but no, that doesn't play my mind much at all, to be honest.
I think you're only 15 away. Would 300 be a good? Well, obviously, not many players get to 300. Mm-hmm. You're a huge chance this year. What would that mean to you? Is it in the back of your mind it's a goal you'd like to achieve, given the fact you've been in the system for so long? As
I said, to be honest, it's not something that you think about much at all. And there's so much other stuff that you focus on going into a game of footy that certainly milestones like that get pushed to the back of your mind. You say only 15 games. 15 games in a footy season's quite a fair way off. So there's a lot of things that need to happen and fall into place on a personal point of view to reach that. But from a team point of view, we've got a lot of things that we need to take care of.
Would you like to achieve it though?
I'd be lying if I said no. It'd be wonderful to achieve that, but 15 games is still a fair way off.
How are you going to handle the NAB Challenge? Do you sort of expect to play early on, or do you sort of have a bit of a rest now and then play later, towards the end of it? Yeah, in previous years, the way it's structured up, I'd generally sit out the first week and play 2 games and roll into round 1, but this year it's dragged over 5 weeks, so I'll probably play a little bit more than I have in previous years, given the rest time in between. So there'll be certain players that will be managed throughout the NAB Challenge. There'll be guys that have had good summers on the track that will find themselves getting an opportunity come Sunday against West Coast, and a lot of those guys deserve the opportunity, and if they play well, hopefully they'll hold their spot in the side. But a number of guys will be managed throughout
as far as how much load they play in each game, a number of quarters and game time, etc. So that'll unfold over the next few weeks.
Any young guys you're particularly looking forward to seeing how they go in, like in a proper sort of, against proper opposition?
Yeah, I mean, it'd probably be unfair to single out one in particular, but we've had a number of guys that have had a small dose of AFL footy in the last few years, have put solid summers together. New recruit Wayne Miller has been outstanding on the track, so I'm hoping he plays on Sunday. He really deserves the opportunity, and he excites me watching him train, so hopefully that unfolds into playing.
Has he been training more as a forward or midfielder, or both?
He's done a lot of work through the midfield. He definitely go forward. He's got some tricks, so hopefully you guys will see a bit of that over the coming weeks.
He's a bit like a McLeod. Is there some McLeod-like traits as a young player?
Yeah, well, he covers the ground really well, moves well, very agile on his feet, uses the ball well, so you could say there's a few traits that are similar.
Mitch McGovern obviously kicked 4 last week. I know J-Pod rates him really, really highly.
Mm-hmm.
Is he another guy that's impressed you and that could make an impact, even play AFL this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the key for Mitch is getting his body sound. I mean, he's had some niggles over the past couple of years where he hasn't been able to get himself out on the park consistently. So I think the key for him is understanding his body, being able to get the work in needed to be able to perform come match day.
Last couple guys.
Obviously Dangerfield's not here anymore. Do you expect one person to step up, or is it take it on as a midfield load?
Yeah, well, I mean, I touched on the fact that there've been a number of guys in my eyes that have improved over the summer. And I've touched on the new recruit in Wayne as well. A lot of those guys that I'm talking about play through the midfield, so I'd like to think we're building some great midfield depth. A bloke that you've probably heard a little bit about, but without putting pressure on him or trying to rush his comeback, is Brad Crouch. I think a fit Brad Crouch is very important to our side. So I'd like to think that we'd be able to cover Patrick's departure, no worries.
And will you play this weekend? Have you been given
Yeah, I'm hoping to play this weekend.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Yeah, that'll be a great start for you to play that first game, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a run around on the weekend.
Another player, Brodie Smith, obviously got hurt early last year, a couple of concussions. He's so important to your team.
Yep.
How important is it that he has stays sound, and obviously he had a good season last year, but if he stays sound, he'll have an even better one this year. How important is he?
Yeah, I mean, well, Brodie's an All-Australian a few years ago. He spent a number of weeks through the midfield last year, but probably found his best form coming off a half-back. So I'm tipping this year for Brodie, it'll be quite similar. We'll see him half-back, maybe push up the ground a little bit. But, he's definitely a dangerous weapon for us coming out of that back half.
Is he a barometer a bit for the team when he's playing well?
Oh, well, he's a line breaker, so he can be quite damaging. He's got the speed, he's got a penetrating kick, so when the ball's in his hands, he can certainly hurt the opposition.